Hi and welcome to my YouTube. I'm Alice Grist. I'm a tarot author, creator and teacher, and today I am using Tarot of the Divine to ask our cards, how can I plug into my abundance this week? Now bear in mind that abundance does not necessarily mean millions and billions of pounds, but the abundance of our life, the ability to create within that life and to manifest whatever it is that we are working towards in the most powerful way. So using these cards, I'm going to give them a shuffle, and our card for the week to begin to work on our abundance is the Four of Coins. So within this card we see this precious little soul being held by, is that a vulture? I think it's perhaps a vulture. We feel like we could be picked over at any minute, and actually yet we are being protected. So perhaps our fears of what could possibly go wrong, our fears of lack in particular, are not founded. We are relatively comfortable and we are surrounded by potential abundance. So perhaps the home that we live in, the benefits we reap from the money that we do happen to have. So that could be across the board, all kinds of different things, and it will look different for each and every individual, but we are sufficiently rewarded that we can begin to move past this place of fear, and that perhaps put some of these pentacles, some of these coins towards the things that we hope for, speculate to accumulate and all that. However, look at how lovingly that vulture, that bird, is looking down upon this sweet soul, and she looks terrified, bless her heart. Where is your fear sat right now with money? How is scarcity preventing you from moving forward and creating the things that you desire to create? How are we bundling ourselves away, perhaps staying within the comfort zone for fear of losing something? And what is it we're afraid we're going to lose? What are you afraid you're going to lose right now? And how could we look to this higher power, the one that scares us, the frightening kind of possibilities of life? How can we look to that to actually guide us? How can we feel safe? How can we allow ourselves to feel safe within our circumstances? I'm going to take another card to go a little further with this message, because it feels rather potent. So in terms of bringing forward our abundance, exploring our abundance this week, or whenever you happen to come to this video, we then have the Lovers. Now, I love this deck. This is a brand new deck for me, and I'm really enjoying working with it. You can see that's Beauty and the Beast. This deck in particular explores different myths and fables from all over the world. So we'll all have an idea of what Beauty and the Beast is about, because, you know, Disney sort of infiltrates everything. But what's the traditional meaning? Is it safe? Is it safe to get that close to the beast? And actually what I would offer you is, how is your inner beast needing to be tamed right now? Because both of these cards kind of have the vulnerable, the feminine aspects of ourselves being held by something that feels otherworldly, something that feels protective, but also quite scary. So how do we make peace with those things within us that are preventing us from creating union and abundance? And perhaps if we're looking at abundance in terms of our relationships, how do we make friends with the beast within? How do we get over those blockages and limitations that are perhaps holding us back from being vulnerable and opening our hearts out and being seen and experienced, whether that is in relation to our creativity, our abundance, or our relationships? And I think one more card just to round these off. I can never just do two. So giving these a shuffle. And if you like tarot, I have a tarot sisterhood and everybody is very welcome there. And we explore tarot and spirituality all the time. So have a look on my website, alicegrist.co.uk. And our final card, I love this. So as we go to explore our abundance, as we begin to think about what that is and how we might begin to be more deeply within it, we have to leave so much behind. So perhaps these fears and these lacks and these beasts, these beastie terrible, kind of intimidating and overwhelming feelings that are trying to get the better of us. That's what we see here. And here they are getting the better of her. Here she's making friends with them, and here she's moving on in a solo manner, leaving the past behind, leaving things behind that perhaps served her for a while, because our limitations and blockages, unfortunately, do serve us. That's why we have them. But it comes to a point in time where they stop serving us, and they become nuisances, and they become irritants, and they become something that feels icky when we kind of implement them in our lives. And it's time to move them behind, leave them behind, walk the path into the unknown. And is that the route your abundance is asking you to take? To step out of the comfort zone? Because the comfort zone is actually quite a frightening place to be. Because when you're in the comfort zone, everything outside of the comfort zone feels like a threat. And I think that's what we have here. Actually, her comfort zone is protecting her, and it means well. However, she's become so beholden to that space that she can't step outside of it. And so she clambers in there, and she deals with what she's got, and she's got enough, so it's okay. But actually, no. So here she makes friends. She makes friends with the fear. She makes friends with the big bad beastie within, the lack, the fear of not being good enough. And she recognises that she is, and she's bountiful, and she's beautiful, and she's loved, and she is loving and compassionate. So there's a bit of a journey going on here. And then from that space, we begin to enter into this unknown. We have that new moon there, which we've just had a new moon over the past few days, along with some really incredible astrological eclipses, and we've had Beltane. And if you're watching this at some other date, then have a look at what your moon status is right now, because it's always really interesting to reflect on that. What time of season is it? Because here we have somebody who's leaving behind the known, leaving behind the home, leaving behind the home of the instinctual, the things she's been taught, the expectations, the masks she has worn, and she's wearing her red passionate cloak and stepping out into a new dawn. Except it's not quite dawn yet, it's still the middle of the night, and that perhaps makes it feel all the more scary, and yet she has the cover of nightfall to protect her. So begin your path forward. You don't have to go out and tell the world. Like I say, it's still nighttime in this picture. You have the moon as company, you have your spirit as company, you have the intuitive knowings that are prodding you in this direction and have been for a long time. Why are you not listening? We all do it. We don't listen for years. I didn't listen to several instincts for many, many years, and then eventually I did. And I'm so glad that I did. And when the time comes, you leave behind that which has supported you, that which has been familiar, that which is internal and external to you, and that is no longer helpful, and you go to seek something else. So this is the route and the path to our abundance this week, or whatever point you see these cards. So I'm loving it. We are being double dared to get closer with our internal world, to examine our boundaries, our lack, our limitations, to make friends with them, to recognise that there's a bigger path out there for, and then just beginning to walk it. Okay, more cards again soon. I'm Alice Grist. You can check out my work, readings, books, cards at alicegrist.co.uk, or come find me on Instagram, Alice Grist, for lots more of these kind of little mini readings and reels. Bye.